what's going on, YouTubers? For ladies and gentlemen, it's the Natural Born Thriller, and welcome to All Elite Wrestling Reviews. Two shows from April 27th, 2021 with AEW Dark, and April 28th, 2021 with AEW Dynamite. Now, obviously, we're starting off first with AEW Dark results. They were at Dave's place in Jacksonville, Florida, and your commentators were Excalibur and Taz. So this won't take long. We're to giving you, the results here about these matches. So let's get to it. So we get D3 and Fuego del Sol versus The Acclaim and the Bowens and Max Caster with The Acclaim winning. Matt Sydal and Mike Sydal, the Sydal brothers, going up against Aaron Fry and David Ali with the Sydal brothers going over. Andrew Palace versus Dante Martin with Dante Martin going over. Duke Davis and Gannon Jones versus the Varsity Blondes of Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison, with obviously the Varsity Blondes winning. Brian Cage being accompanied by Hook versus Marty Casados. Hold on a second, I'm trying to pronounce his last name again. Marty Casasos. Sorry, folks. Basically, if you didn't know who this guy was in Lucha Underground, he was Marty the Moth Martinez. So that will basically jog your memories for those who watch Lucha Underground. But it was Brian Cage getting the win, and it was a good match too, by the way. So the best match on the show. Layla Hirsch versus Renee Michelle. And yeah, it was Layla Hirsch getting the win here. Lance Archer with Jake Roberts at ringside, but not really at ringside, but more like on commentary, as Lance Archer goes up against Jake St. Patrick, I meant to say, with Lance Archer winning. Diamante versus Rachel Rose, which, by the way, Rachel Rose, I've seen a lot of her on Ladies Night Out Wrestling, on Match on Time Match Wrestling YouTube channel, and she's pretty good. I like her. She hasn't been wrestling that long, but but the way she wrestles, the way she works, she looks like she's been doing it for almost 5 years. But yeah, she's pretty good. But obviously, Diamante won. Lee Johnson versus Will Allday, with Lee Johnson winning. Plan 4 with Kip Sabian at ringside versus Ashley D'Ambosi, I think that's how I say her last name, whatever. But Plan 4 won the match though. Kylan King versus Danny Jordan, with Kylan King in the win. Adrian Lattis and Liam Gray versus SCU's Christopher Danielson and Frankie Kazarian. Obviously, Frankie Kazarian, Christopher Daniels, SCU wins. Private Party, Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn, and the Butcher, and the Blade, excuse me, being accompanied by Matt Hardy and the Bunny as they go up against Dark Order's Evil Unos, Stu Grayson, and 10, with the rest of Dark Order at ringside. It was a 6-man tag match with Dark Order winning. And that will conclude your results for AEW Dark. Well, I'm sorry, folks. I forgot to mention Cabana versus Carter happened too, by the way. And Coco Cabana won the match. So 14 matches for the Total Wrestling, and my overall rating for the show, I'm going to go with a 6.9 out of 10. So there you go, folks. And with that being said, with giving you the results of AEW Dark from April 27th, 2021. Now let's move on to the next results. And now let's get to AEW Dynamite results from April 28th, 2021. Excalibur, Jim Ross, and Tony Schiavone, your commentators. The opening match was the Hangman Adam Page versus the FTW champion, or should I say the FTW World Champion, I should say, in Brian Cage. Now, the Hangman came out, and then Brian Cage came out, Jumpstart, along with Team Taz to beat up on the Hangman Adam Page, and basically, they destroyed him, especially Brian Cage with the powerbomb him on the stage. And then the Dark Order came out for the save, and this was just between, and we obviously got a pull apart after that. Like, wow, what the hell is going on here? Like, so basically, Adam Page got jumped before the match even started. Brian Cage all of a sudden starting to get upper hand on Adam Page. As everyone left, returns to Team Taz and Dark Order. So they because they're going to continue the match because Adam Page wanted to continue the match. So match happens. Brian Cage was obviously was the one dominating the match here because obviously they got the jump start on him, from behind. Adam Page got some offense, but in the end, Brian Cage got the win on Adam Page, who was number 1 ranked, by the way. With Adam Page being number 1 ranked, he should have been got a shot at the AEW World Title. And the fact that they decided to take that away from Brian, Adam Page, and then have Brian Cage beat him, I think at this point now, Brian Cage should be up in line for the title shot now. I don't know what they're waiting for. I don't know why they can't just pull the trigger already. I understand when they want to cool down Adam Page, because he's on a hot momentum right now of collecting a lot of wins here. But I guess they don't want to do that right away, because they want to set that up, maybe save it for later on in the year, in this year, later on this year, I should say, to get back to that whole thing with Adam Page and Kenny Omega, because I think they're setting up the Hangman Page to beat Kenny Omega for the belt. Who is, I guess we're waiting to see if that's going to still be the goal. Now, is it going to happen at All Out? Is it going to happen at Full Gear? Maybe close to the end of the year. We'll see. But what I'm seeing right now, they're cooling down Adam Page here. In a way, this is they're no favorites here for Adam Page here. Just feel like a burial, for now. Will he bounce back? Of course he will. Adam Page always knows how to bounce back. So we'll see how they're gonna match the bounce back to form and everything. Especially when we're eventually later on we're getting crowds back too. So we'll see. And you gotta see this with Brian Cage now, since he got the win over Adam Page. He should be next in line now. Instead they did something else. Since to once I start doing all these catching ups of for these results for this review for AEW, you'll find out more of it of me talking about it. So match itself, it was decent. Not very much to say about the match. Adam Page was selling, as he should, because of the whole thing with the jump start. So Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Good Brothers, Don Callis were all hanging out in the limo. They're talking and everything. I didn't care. All of a sudden, they hear a honking noise. They all thought it was going to be Moxley and Kingston again, but no, it was MT Nakazawa sitting at the driver's seat, honking whatever. So it was supposed to be funny, I guess, in a way, or whatever. But Omega wants Kingston, to face Nakazawa or whatever, something like that. I don't know. I don't really care because the Elite is not doing it for me, folks, anymore. Not saying I'm not a fan of their wrestling. There is the the whole thing they're carrying themselves now, the one they're just acting like goofballs now. I don't like it. The Young Bucks with Don Callis at ringside, or short say on commentary, Don Callis, taking on the Sydal brothers, Matt and Mike, in a title eliminator match, where if they could beat the Young Bucks, they'll get opportunity against Young Bucks this time for the tag titles. Yeah, match was good though. It was a good match. Young Bucks won, so no title shots for the Sydal brothers. After the match, once Brand Cutler was getting there and spraying the cool pads. Well, I mean, putting the cool the cold pads and spraying them with cold spray and everything. SU comes out. Christopher Danielson and Frankie Kazarian. They talk about how they notice that the Young Bucks are having a new attitude and all that. They're questioning with the outfits and everything. And talk about how they wanted to let the Young Bucks know that they are the number one contenders, and whenever they they want and whenever the Young Bucks have the balls to sign the dotted line, they are ready to for that match. And it's Frankie Kazarian saying this, and then Christopher Daniels says that he wanted to face his friends, but not he doesn't know who these guys are because they're not the friends that they want to know because they're not now the sellers and everything and all that, and they are talking about titles and making AEW and being better without your ass holes and all that because that's what Young Bucks are being right now. They're being assholes and all that. So, and that was it. Now keep in mind, SU said that they're the more contenders, because they are number one ranked tag teams, so they should get opportunity of it. They should already get a shot at tag titles. That's the whole system of the rankings should mean. We'll get to that. Jay Cargill, she's for over the past few weeks, pretends to every manager wanted to sign her, but the problem is that they wanted percentage of her money, and she said it doesn't work that way, for her end. She said that she her own boss like before, and she says that so they need to impress her first. So, and that was it. Orange Cassidy with Trent. Basically Trent was at ringside as Orange Cassidy goes up against Penta El Zero, who is being accompanied by Alex Abrahantes. The match I thought was pretty good between Penta El Zero and Orange Cassidy. So Abrahantes was trying to talk on the mic again like the last time, but then got cut off by I think by Trent, I think it was. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I think it was by Trent because I think he's gonna have more to say about Trent's mom and all that, whatever. But yeah, it was a lot of chaos going on after that. Trent got the microphone from basically Orange Cassidy yanks Abrahantes into the ring. Penta takes a shot at from behind, goes for the package power driver, which is on the fear factor he does. But instead, Trent gets a microphone, hits Penta as your middle, and then Orange Cassidy with the orange punch. Cover 1, 2, 3. What? You're supposed to be building up Penta El Zero as a heel, a heel singles wrestler here, with a good heat magnet here with Alex Abrahantes, which is good pairing there, and you have him lose. What the fuck? Now you gotta go back to the drawing board with him again. This is like the whole thing with Cody Rhodes. You're building up with Penta Azumilo had a single match with Cody Rhodes, and then he loses to Cody Rhodes, and now you're doing it again here, building him up again, and then you cut his leg off by having Orange Cassidy beat him. And yes, he was just it was a protective win, blah 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 blah. I don't care. This is Penta El Zero Miller we're talking about here. Why you sign him to AEW if you're not gonna do anything significant with him? I don't get it. Yes, the whole Lucha Bros, the tag team, whatever, even though they haven't won the tag belts yet, even though they were everyone's eyes on favorite to win the belts. And the whole Death Triangle thing, which I was and then the whole thing with Eddie Kingston with the Butcher and the Blade, the Bunny, and all that. And then you got going back to being with Pac and all that, the Death Triangle. And now look at this, you're back to square one once again with these guys. What are you doing? Tony Schiavone talks to Britt Baker. Britt Baker was in a good mood as she goes up to hug Tony Schiavone, and you just have Reba, Rebel, whichever want to say it, whichever works out for you. But she says that she's going to work her way to the top of the rankings to get a title shot against Hikaru Shida. And she says that now that she's on the top of the merchandise sales, the demos, and the rankings, she says that she is she's coming for that current champion. She's coming for the current champion, which is Hikaru Shida, and she needs to remind everyone that she's the face of the company, and that was basically it. So yeah, it was exciting to see that the whole thing with Britt Baker, Reba, Rebel, which I want to say, and Tony Schiavone, that interaction that they always have. So yeah, it was a good feeling there. So and Britt Baker's right, by the way. She needs to be the champion. Tony Schiavone, he starts to hyping up the Blood and Guts, which I'm gonna get to when I get to it. After this review, so the Pinnacle heads out first, and they had their own private securities, and also you get the Inner Circles coming out with their own private securities, and motorcycles. Okay. So the group are face off and everything. Tony Schiavone is standing all between them, and runs down the rules about Blood and Guts. Basically, it's the same rules like War Games. That's basically what it is, except it's not the NXT version of it. Just saying. The NXT rules is there's no rooftop. If you get out of the cage of the War Games from NXT, basically, for example, if the Undisputed Era, that how long I have talked about this before, if one of the members of the Undisputed Era leaves the cage of the War Games, then that team loses. That's the rule of NXT War Games, and I always hate that rule, by the way. Don't fix anything that's broken. I mean, don't fix anything that's not broken, meant to say. And this is what AEW is doing here. They're not trying to fix anything that's broken. I mean, I messed up again, didn't I? They're trying to, they're not fixing anything that's not broken, meant to say. So, anyways, so Tony Schiavone, is doing all that, and then Shawn Spears interrupts the coin toss because we're gonna see who's got the advantage. And Shawn Spears says that that's not going to happen. With the whole coin toss. They were lumped into this match because of the circle. So it's fair. I think it's fair that we should get the advantage and everything. And Shawn Spears, wonders when the last time that Sammy Guevara even had a match. And Sammy Guevara says that he basically takes the microphone and says that he doesn't believe that Shawn Spears has been anything is insignificant in wrestling, saying that in AEW he's a failure. He was even a failure of what he used to work at. Ty Dillinger, the Perfect 10 on the main roster, by the way. Yeah. But Sammy Guevara says, I think we all, the Inner Circle, we agree that we'll start first. And yeah, and that's how it turns out being. So, what was the point of Charles Barney being there then? I don't know. Because he was supposed to be there for the coin toss, and the fact that there was no coin toss involved was who's getting the advantage, because the Inner Circle, because on behalf of Sammy Guevara speaking for the Inner Circle, they're gonna allow the Pinnacle to have the advantage. Okay. Cash Wheeler. He talks about how he says that Jericho shouldn't bring Santana Ortiz because they are soft and they won't make it out of the match. And then Harwood, Dax Harwood said this. He says that he's prepared his family for what's coming, and he's not afraid to die. He reminds Santana Ortiz about their kids and tell them to hold them close before they leave the night before the match. So then Ortiz gets on the mic and says that tells Santana to not give in to them, because you know that they're trying to do. And then Santana says to them that they are going to be locked in the cage soon, and they will and they've been locked up before, and basically it says that has FTR been locked up before? I don't think so. And then Santana says that he wants to let them know, his hands are gonna do the talking, and that was it. MJF starts taking over now, and he says that you basically told Chris Jericho thank you, because without Chris Jericho there is no AEW. Says that he's the top draw, and the bridge for relapse fans. I mean for lapse fans, meant to say. To come check out AEW. Also putting together a top stable. MJF continues that Jericho has been stressed out throughout all the pressure, and says that that the plans on taking the heavy crown off Jericho's head and to take it from him. Your spot is going to be mine, and that's why he's saying he's going to say thank you. That's why he's saying thank you to Chris Jericho, because he's going to take Jericho's spot. And Jericho responds by saying that MJF is a little prick for thinking that he can't just take a spot or just absorb a spot. That that the only way that he can take it is by earning it. And Jericho reminds MJF that at 25, when he was current joking in WCW, because he was almost main eventing shows in Japan and Mexico, which it was true, and which is what put him on the top. And talks about a family, and has been family with guys since day one. Says that MJF is not getting in the middle of the inner circle, and they won't beat the inner circle. They are going to kill basically you're gonna have to kill the inner circle to win. That's basically what he's saying. And that was it. That was the promo, and this was the absolute best segment promo to lean up to Blood and Guts. So all guys did very well, and that's all I can say from there. So and this really got me hyped up to for me to look forward to that match, which I thought the match itself we'll get to when we get to it. And I know you already know about my live reaction of it, how I feel about the match. But once I get to my to that review of it, to give you my full thoughts of it, you'll find out. Michael Nakazawa sitting in a chair in the middle of the ring, and Akins comes out and says that he gets on mic and says I don't want you. I want Hayamaker and everything. Hayamaker comes out and says if you want me, you gotta beat Nakazawa and everything, and I guess it was like a fight that happened before Hayamaker came out between Nakazawa and Kingston Weber, and Kingston was going to threaten to break the ankle of Nakazawa, and then Eddie Kamega didn't want to get in there to save him. So you know what, he's gonna take it for the Nakazawa's gonna take it for the team either way. And Don Callis was out there too, by the way. Wherever Kamega goes, Don Callis is out there too. So all of a sudden Mox comes out from behind, attacks Omega. Don Callis was scared, so Kamega gets in the ring by by force by Moxley, and Omega's trying to call for Brandon Cutler because he's not around. So Moxley decides to to choke Omega, and as Kingston puts the ankle around Omega, basically he's gonna try to penalize Omega. Steel chair around his ankle, and Don Callis had to agree to give the match of Omega and Nakazawa versus Moxley and Kingston for the next AEW show, which is Blood and Guts, or break the ankle of Omega. So Don Callis had to agree to it, and yeah, there you go. So the match was set. We go, and yeah, the segment itself, I'm like, whatever. I really don't care about the feud that much anyways, but it was good to see Kingston and Moxley though, so there you go. Backstage, we see Taz talking to Brian Cage about beating up the Hangman Adam Page, and we're chance to which of Team Taz is gonna be number one. And then also Christian Cage shows up. Basically to talk to Taz because now I think he was being interviewed by Alex Marvez. I think so. I don't recall if he was not, but Taz says that Christian Cage may have won against Will Hobbs, but Powerhouse Hobbs, but he ain't gonna he ain't but he's gonna get another team member to go after Christian Cage, and Christian Cage stops Taz and say that there's a lot of there was a time when Taz beat up guys and talked trash along the way. Today he talks a lot, but he can't back it up. So he found a bunch of big guys to surround himself with to defeat his ego, and said that everything that Taz wishes he is, you wish you could come back like me. Wow. Pipe bomb. Ain't that the truth? Yeah, not what to say. So, not what to say. It was decent. So, yeah, it was decent, and from decent to good. So, yeah. Play before with Kip Sabian at ringside versus Chris Stanlander with Orange Cassidy at ringside. Match itself was pretty good between Chris Stanlander and Play before. I thought they had a good match. Obviously, because Chris Stanlander came back, obviously she won. Kip Sabian trying to get involved, but Orange Cassidy made sure that didn't happen. So, that's been not much of it. So, yeah. 10 talks about Brody Lee, saying that he gave 10 his spot in AEW, and he will never forget that, which is why purchased the TNT title that represented Brody Lee. He's the reason why that 10 is here, so he's gonna win that belt for Brody Lee. So, and we'll get that when we get to the main event. The Factory. QT Marshall, Aaron Solo, and Nick Camarello with Anti Angogo at ringside. Versus the Nightmare Family, which is Dustin Rose, Lee Johnson, and Billy Gunn, with no one at ringside for the Nightmare Family. But the match itself happened, decent match. All guys looked good in the match here. In the end, it was QT Marshall, Aaron Solo, and Nick Camarello getting the win. After the match though, Nick Camarello gets the bull rope, hits Dustin Rose in the face with it. The Factory celebrates on stage. Marshall goes to as he goes to hang to taunt some more. Colton and Austin Gunn came in to beat up on QT Marshall, and they ended up sending him onto the floor, which he bails. Nick Morello and Aaron Solo comes back out because at this point they were already gone, and because they were dismissed in a way. But then after they heard the commotion, what's going on, they came back out there and they started fighting with the guns. So QT Marshall was going to to oh yeah, I didn't even mention this too by the way. There was some Nightmare Express um uh out there, you know, that belongs to Clay Wilson and the rest of the Nightmare families. So the factory came in with that. And then QT Marshall tried to go back in there, and you could see Clay Rose right in there. Same myself. Yeah, Clay Rose is back. Yeah, that was supposed to be the the angle here that Clay Rose was gonna make a surprise return, but it wasn't much of a surprise because we could see him in the bus, so that was a fail. But he came out there and they start fighting. They start fighting on top of the bus, which you had a couple of the rosters surrounding getting near the bus and everything, and then RB was getting on top of the bus to try to pick up the fight and everything. Curry was supposed to the figure four, meant to say, not ankle lock, the figure four onto QT Marshall, and that was it. And that's gonna be the match for Blood and Guts. Basically a one-on-one match. So there you go. Also we go backstage and we see Kip Sabian, who finally meets up with Miro, for after avoiding him for a couple of weeks. So Kip Sabian talks with the cameraman or Alex Marvis. I can't remember if Alex Marvis was with him, whatever. And he goes to meet with Miro, um, at the locker room, and Sabian is trying to talk to him and everything. And then Miro also snaps and beats him up. He starts choking him, starts choking him with a chain, and then starts ranting by saying nobody is going to stop him of being the champion as he beat up on Kip Sabian, and he continues to punch him and all that, and he says it's time to pay your dues, and then he puts his hands to send the door on his hand and or the arm whatever, and then he hugs him, and then Miro says I forgive you. Wow. Oh, I don't know what was that about. Oh man. I guess he forgive him for for ignoring him. I don't know. Maybe that time. I thought it was funny by the way. The segment was funny. Yeah, the whole thing. But maybe that time. Um, Darby Allen, being accompanied by Sting to defend his AW, his AW TNT Championship title against 10, being accompanied by the Dark Order. Match itself was pretty good actually. I want to see Preston Vance to go match out on his own. I don't mind him, with him doing the whole Dark Order stick and all that, but I think this whole Dark Order thing that he did doing with him, him wearing the mask and all that, is holding him back of his full potential. I believe Vance, I believe that Preston Vance has full potential. But the problem is he's been held back by the Dark Order. So, but in this match it showcased that he's pretty good, especially on having a good match with Darby Allin. Um, so at one point, I guess I remember it was during the match though, however, that Ethan Page and Darby Allin came. Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky came in. It took a shot, a cheap shot onto Darby Allin, whatever. During the match, and the referee didn't see that happen. And Sting, was getting there, was trying to get involved in everything, to to make things, keep things in order, whatever. I don't remember. I think it was the part where the Dark Order tried to get involved and Sting was chasing away the Dark Order. It's not that. I can't remember how it went down though, but um, That's probably why Sting wasn't there to help out Darby Allin. But in the end, it didn't matter because Darby Allin still won the match though, especially when Darby Allin went after the mask of 10, basically ripping it off. No, not fully ripping it off, but but enough to at least try to get a win. Some type of win over on 10, and he did. So after the match, 10 hosts out Darby Allin up and everything, and Darby Allin takes the Brody Lee wristband off of him and holds it up and everything, and 10 nodded at him and all that, in respect and all that. Also, Ethan Page comes back and Scorpio Sky comes back, cheap shots and all that, and they both beat up on Sting, who tried to help too and all. And then as Archer came out for the save, chasing away Page and Sky, and that was it. As Sting and Sting gets back up and and check out Darby Allin and everything, and as Archer stands along with them too and all. So and that was it. And so yeah, there you go, and that will conclude your results for AEW Dynamite from April 29th. I'm assuming that's the date. Yeah, no, actually April 28th, 2021. Talking about wrestling were 6 matches. And my overall strength for this show. This show was also good too. A lot of good matches and and there was a lot of things that there were a lot of things that I sort of like, and some things I didn't sort of like. So I'm gonna go with a 7.5 out of 10 for this one. So, in fact, no, I'll go with 7.9. Close to an 8 out of 10, but a 7.9 out of 10. Namely because of the Pinnacles and Inner Circle's interaction before we get to Blood and Guts. So, I'll give him that. So, well, yeah, there you go, folks. With that being said, thank you all for watching. We're to catching up on all the wrestling reviews. There you go. For It's Natural Born Thriller, saying peace on the streets. Y'all take care.